I'm so glad to see so many people here. My name's Brian Callanan. I had two daughters go through the Intergenerational Learning Center not too long ago. Joan Whitley was there helping us out. Thank you, Joan. There's so many great faces and names here to remember, but we have a very special connection to this place, and I've said it to a few people. If you didn't have a child go through the ILC, you know one that did, and if you don't have a parent or a grandparent that is here at this wonderful facility, you know somebody who did as well. There's maybe 1 degree of separation here in West Seattle. There's a lot of love in this community here, and it's really shown in the crowd that's shown up today. So here we are at nearly the highest point in Seattle, with downtown Seattle just over the horizon. The sisters have been praying their tails off that it's not going to rain for just a little bit longer here. We got Puget Sound to the west and the Olympics to the east here. The Sisters of Providence, just in thinking about this, they certainly knew how to pick a grand location to build St. Vincent Home for the Aged. That's what this facility was first known as. Fueled by their service to the poor in Seattle, the sisters were compelled by a vision to build a place where poor and infirm elders could find a home and receive the care that they needed. So the sisters moved into St. Vincent Home for the Aged right here on January 24th, 1924, and prepared to open the doors to the public. Now, according to the Seattle Times, the building would be thrown open to visitors on April 26, 1924. So here we are, exactly 100 years later, after that grand opening, to gather, reminisce, and witness the rededication and continuation of the mission of the Sisters of Providence for generations to come. Wow, let's give it up for the Sisters of Providence. All right. Something very special here. Thank you, sisters. Before we open our program, I want to share an excerpt from a poem written by Sister Gerard of Providence for this very dedication day, exactly 100 years ago. It's under a heading from Luke chapter 24. Stay with us, for it is towards evening, and the day is now far spent. And Sister Gerard writes this: The day is now spent, eve comes apace. Stay with us and find rest for weary feet, and solace for the hearts that crave repose after the burden of the day and heat. Raftered by faith and buttressed by charity, these kindly walls outstretch. Like loving arms, this hearth gives warmth when winter blasts blow chill. Here is a haven from foreboding harms. Here tender thought anticipates the yearning wish and soothes the unspoken pain with kindly service learned in Nazareth school. Here, tired pilgrims find a home again. I really think that poem set a beautiful tone for the dedication 100 years ago, and I hope it does today here as well, because the Mount really does continue as a beacon of hope and a place to call home for countless of generations of pilgrims and their descendants who have found their way here. So to extend the celebration, the Mount has planned a wonderful day today, a lot of events. These are all in gratitude for all who have lived, worked, served, or visited here over the last 100 years. And you're invited to stay and take part in all of the fun here. So, for this morning's ceremony, here's what we have. We're going to begin with a welcome from the Providence leadership. We will open a time capsule, this is going to be really fun, containing what the Sisters of Providence felt was important for us to know 100 years ago. Imagine some of the same things that apply for today, but I'm very interested in seeing that. And then we will close with a rededication of the mission of the Mount, joined by several current generation family members and dignitaries, all descendants of those who were instrumental in partnering with the sisters to bring the vision of the Mount to reality. So to get started here, please join me in welcoming Diana Reilly, Providence Chief of Residential Services, up to the podium. Diana.
Good morning, everyone, and thank you, Brian. What an honor it is to be here with all of you today. Thank you so much for taking the time to join us. As Brian mentioned, my name is Diana Reilly. I am the Chief Executive for Residential Services for the Providence Health System. And in my role, I have the privilege and the honor of working with teams of caregivers in our many senior living communities across Alaska, Oregon, Washington, and California. All of them delivering compassionate, exceptional care every day, but none with the history of 100 years like Providence Mt St Vincent. So I want to start by going way back and remind us that on the heels of World War II, in the early 1920s, the Sisters of Providence had very few resources and were literally serving the poor in the streets and local poor on the farms here in Seattle. I want to pause here for a moment because I am a native Seattleite, 5 generations of my family on both sides from Seattle. My parents both grew up in West Seattle. My dad on a farm that is now commercial space in Seattle. So when I think about the Mount, I also think about this incredible personal bond that I have to it. Seeing most of my life traveling around the West Seattle area, seeing the Mount up on the hill. But what I also want to add is that this morning when I had conversations with many of you, it struck me that all of you are not from West Seattle. You're from other communities and other places, but have found a community and a connection with the Mount that brings you here. And that is what makes this place so incredibly special. So whether you're in West Seattle community or on the outside of West Seattle community it is, and thank you for that. With nothing more than a vision, tremendous commitment, tenacity, and a mission to serve the poor, Sister Mary Conrad partnered with a local clergy and other leaders to begin gathering funds needed to build a home for elders in need, especially for the poor and those needing health care. The first businessman to write a $1,000 check was a man named Frank Sullivan. He and William Piggott, did I say that right? Yep. Yeah, thank you. Along with 12 building committee members, reached out to many local leaders to secure the needed funding. I'm pleased to share that several descendants of these leadership families are with us here today. And would each of you please stand as I recognize your family? The family of Arthur G. Dunn. The John T. Heffernan family. The T.C. McHugh family. The R.G.H. Nordoff family. The A.W. Quist family. And just a note about Quist, he was also the primary building contractor. Members of the Women's Auxiliary, who launched the first Providence fundraising campaign and have been a continuous supporting group to us ever since. Please stand. The Frank and Ida Carroll family. Frank was the Frank was the health commissioner at the time, and Ida chaired the founding Women's Auxiliary. Nathan Marshall from Nucor Steel. Nucor provided all the steel for these buildings, which was over 1 million pounds. And shortly Nathan will help us open the time capsule. Thank you all for being with us. These families and advocates did the amazing work of reaching out to countless others to ask for support to build the Mount. This amazing effort served as a bedrock of community that has flourished here ever since. We've been blessed with the generosity of countless donors over the last 100 years, all stewarded by our foundation board members, past and present. With those of you here with us today from the foundation, please stand. Thank you to all of you for your steadfast generosity and for your service. Lastly, and by no means least, representing our Sisters of Providence, for whom without their efforts we would not be here today, we have with us Sister Charlene Hooden. Mount St. Vincent Foundation board member also, and several sisters with St. Joseph residence. Thank you, sisters, for carving the way for us to now go forward. At the end of today's program, it would be an honor if each of you, with these founding families, Sisters of Providence, along with past and current Foundation board members, would come up to join me for our ribbon cutting. The sisters started out with nothing more than the vision, commitment, tenacity, and their mission to serve the poor and vulnerable, in building and in serving in this extraordinary place. Along with partnership with the community, they truly had everything they needed. And the lay people that have followed, through the sisters' example, continue to answer this call, to innovate through the challenges, to always find a way forward in service, and to deliver our Providence promise, to know me, care for me, and ease my way to all that enter our sacred community. Thank you so much, and I'll transition back to Brian.
Thank you so much, Diana. I just want to give another round of applause to all these families here who built this up over the past several generations. It's a lot to be proud of. Thank you. Thank you for your family service here. All right, before we open this much-awaited time capsule, I can't wait to see what's inside of it, can you? The Mount is also being recognized by King County and the City of Seattle with some proclamations on this day. And first, if I could, let me give a shout-out to Jenny Houston, the Strategic Policy Advisor for King County Executive Jack Constantine. All right, thank you for coming. Really appreciate that. And the county's proclamation goes like this. Whereas Providence Mt St Vincent is a vibrant living care community serving older adults in West Seattle since 1924. There's a lot more to this. Please stop by the table and read the whole proclamation. Although it's really fun to edit elected officials, I will say that. I'll go on here. I, Dow Constantine, King County Executive, do hereby proclaim April 26, 2024 to be Providence Mt St Vincent Anniversary Day in King County with gratitude to the Mount and the Sisters of Providence. There we go. April.
No, what is it called?
It's the Providence Mt St Vincent Anniversary Day in King County. That's what we got. That's what we got. Thank you for the clarification there. We got to know what we're talking about. All right. We got a whole nother day coming from the City of Seattle here, so let's talk about that one. Here's an excerpt from the City of Seattle's proclamation. Whereas the Mount represents the spirit of our One Seattle vision, rooted in building a community that is inclusive and welcoming for residents and neighbors. And recognizing 100 years of service, I, Bruce Harrell, Mayor of Seattle, proclaim April 26, 2024 to be Providence Mt St Vincent Centennial and Rededication Day. Let's give it up for that. All right. Great dedications there, and we thank the county and we thank the city for those proclamations. All right. Here we go. At this time, I want to draw your attention over to Sister Charlene and to Nathan Marshall, who is the malt shop manager at Nucor Steel, who will do the honors of opening the time capsule. All right? This is really exciting. And I want to say this. If you could, after the program, you can stop by the table here and actually see what's inside this capsule. I also understand the Mount team is going to be taking a lot of different photos here, describing the contents in a future letter, so make sure you're ready for that. And I'm hoping that Nathan is ready for this. Nathan, did I have that right? You run the malt shop at Nucor? You're serving milkshakes to guys all day? Oh, it's the malt shop. Okay, that makes a lot more sense. That makes a ton more sense. All right, well, let's get those masks on and make sure we're doing this right, because these blowtorches are what would you say, Nathan? We got a couple 1,000 degrees in your hands there. What are we blowing out here?
Yeah, 1,500 or so.
About 1,500 degrees. So if you're feeling a little cool, this might just help us out here. So okay, very careful. Okay. I don't know if he's polishing it first. We'll have to see what comes out here. All right. Okay, doctor, how are we doing? The first incision looking good? Okay.
Looking good, yeah.
Okay. Ooh, that's a good sign. That sounded good. That sounded good. Looks like we've got one piece open here. He's cracking it open. We gotta see what they have in here. And we're gonna be putting together another time capsule too, so there's a lot of fun ahead here. So. Okay. It sounds like it might be. Is it blowtorch time? What do we got here?
We'll see.
Oh, okay. Or maybe we'll pry that thing open. Okay. Okay. Nice work, Nathan. Yeah, there we go. That's some really nice work. All right. Blowtorch just in case. All right, let me see. All right. I am super sharp. It is super sharp. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, okay. Side back. Yeah, all right. You can't rush 100 years of history. That's all there is to it. All right. Take one more cut here, see how we do. Ooh, that looks good. Now we're smelling some goodness here. All right, let's see how we do. That's a good sign. Gently, gently.
They didn't want it to come out.
The sisters really wanted this thing preserved here, that's for sure. All right. I think the joke goes, how many nuns does it take to stop a guy with a blowtorch? We just figured that one out. All right, we're almost ready here. All right, yeah, one more cut there maybe? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, that's all right. This is great. The tension is building here, right? We love it. We love it.
Typically, you need this.
I know. We'll never know. You know, if people get out of line, too, just let them have it. All right. Okay, that's looking a little better. Okay. All right, big round of applause. Thank you. Okay. Yep, very careful. Get those beads put together. Okay. All right, want to be very gentle with that. Looks, all right, a quick report on what I'm seeing in there. Looks like there's a lot of family photos and things in there. We'll pull these things out and get a better look at them too. Also some backgrounds on the sisters it looked like within there and some of the different families involved. I think I definitely saw a rosary in there, so it wouldn't be the sisters if they didn't have a rosary in there, right? And it looked like there was some coinage there, maybe a silver dollar from more than 100 years ago, so a lot of religious metals in there too. But we've got a lot to sort through here, and again, we'll be working on getting this together and making sure that everybody can see it at the end of the event. But can I give a big round of applause once again to New Tour Field? Thank you. Nathan and Tui making that happen. All right. There's some important words that need to be said. Hang on. Hold the phone on that. Okay, I believe at this point we're going to be talking about the mission of Providence. There's some printed cards around here, and Sister Charlene, let us have it. And Marico, I believe you'll be saying this together.
Oh, you want the card?
Oh.
Okay. Charlene wants the card.
Is this the right one?
Yes, it's right here. As expressions of God's healing love, witnessed through the ministry of Jesus, we are steadfast in serving all, especially those who are poor and vulnerable. Amen.
Amen to that, sister.
Amen.
There we go.
Here we go. Ready? Susie. 1, 2, 3.
Nice work. I'm going to ask our photographers out there, do we need anything more? Is everything looking good here? All right, great. We caught the moment there.